Welcome back to the channel. I'm Michael Mangus, a hunt advisor with Rolling Bones Outdoors, and today I'm going to be talking about different hunt achievements that are recognized by Grand Slam Club Ovis. First off, talking about one of the most renowned achievements for a hunter in North America is the Super Slam 29. This is the harvesting of all 29 big game species that are native to North America. And this includes your 4 bear species, 5 deer, 5 caribou, 3 moose, 3 elk, muskox, bison, pronghorn, mountain goat, mountain lion, and the 4 sheep species. Now, the Super Slam 29 is a massive lifetime achievement that most will never be able to accomplish in their lifetime just because of different physical and logistical hurdles. And just doing these hunts could rack fees up over 300,000, and estimates could range drastically based off of your outfitters you choose and where you're doing the hunts and timing. The biggest hurdle here is usually getting those sheep species where the tags are very difficult to draw, and bypassing the draw system can be quite expensive. And polar bear is also another species that can be very expensive to go after. Now, for those that don't want to do the full Super Slam 29, you could always break down one of the subcategories and go after one of the slams. Now, the only slam that is recognized by Grand Slam Club Ovis is the sheep slam. So harvesting the 4 sheep species of North America, which is the Dall sheep, the desert bighorn, the California bighorn, and the stone sheep, would be recognized. Now, you can also go after the other slams, and those wouldn't be recognized by the organization, but it can be fun to have like your deer slam, which would be the 5 deer species. You could have your bear slam, and you could do the same with elk, caribou, and even if those aren't recognized, it can be a really cool achievement for you to accomplish. Now, next, I'll go over what's actually one of my favorite awards that they do, which is the Super 10. The Super 10 is harvesting one of each of the different species groups. And this one's my favorite just because it is a very realistic goal for most people out there. So you would only need to harvest 1 deer species, 1 bear, 1 caribou, 1 moose, 1 elk, a pronghorn, a mountain goat, a mountain lion, 1 sheep, and then you can either choose between a muskox or bison for the last one. And that's just a really cool award where you get to kind of do a sampler size of the Super Slam 29 and get to kind of hunt everywhere for every type of species without having to do them all. Now, they also created another one, recognizing some of the financial and logistical hurdles that you run into in trying to complete your Super Slam 29. They decided to come up with a Super Slam 25, and that way people that are close to getting that award but just can't get some of those final few species can still get recognized. And this honestly will come down a lot of times to the sheep species and polar bear, but there are some, say, caribou and moose, or even like the tall elk, that are oftentimes left out because of the issues with going after those species. So this one's actually a really cool one because you can still build up, and there's some sort of achievement between the Super 10 and going after the Super Slam. Now, in order to get your Super 25, you do have to complete the Super 10 first. So you could have 25 species, and still not get the Super 10 if you're missing one of those group of species like a sheep or a bear. Now, just for comparison, they do keep a official registry of those who have completed these slams. They don't keep track for the Super 10, but there's roughly about 250 individuals that have completed a Super 25. And there's about an additional 170 that have completed the Super Slam. And just for comparison, there's been over 600 people that have been to space. So more people have been to space than have completed a Super 25 or a Super 29. Now, if that group of people isn't exclusive enough, they actually did come up with a award that goes beyond just the Super Slam. And these are known as the Rex Baker 40 and the Rex Baker 50. These awards are named after legendary mountain hunter Rex Baker. And in order to get to 40 or 50 species, they add a lot that aren't part of the 29, a lot of auxiliary species, including like alligator and walrus. But then they also break some of the species that are in the Super 29 into subcategories. So a good example of this is Western versus Eastern Canadian moose. Another example would be Rocky Mountain versus desert mule deer. And other species that are eligible to be counted here are Anticosti whitetail, the coastal island black bear, the Greenland caribou, the aoudad, the red brocket deer. Now, I truly believe any of these awards are a monumental award and achievement, but it's not really about the award itself. These really come down to the journey and being able to do all these different hunts. And it's also about conservation. And a lot of these efforts, these organizations, and also these hunts are fueling conservation efforts that are going to allow these species to be around for the next generation. Let me know in the comments if you are chasing any of these different achievements. And also feel free to check out my link and let me know if you would be interested in doing a consultation on how Rolling Bones Outdoors can help you achieve those goals. If you've enjoyed this breakdown, please do me a huge favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video.